My name is Jack Turner, and this happened to me about 2 years ago. I'm 27 now, and I've been a long-haul truck driver for the past 5 years. It's decent work lonely, but it pays the bills. When this happened, I was still carrying the weight of something that had broken me 7 years earlier. I'd lost my wife and daughter in a car accident, Sarah and Emma. They were everything to me. After they died, I couldn't stay in one place. The memories were too heavy, so I took to the road. 14, sometimes 16 hours a day behind the wheel. It kept me moving. It kept me from thinking too much about what was gone. I know that sounds depressing, but it's the truth. Some people drink to cope. Some people bury themselves in work. I just happened to disappear into both. That night, I was heading east on Route 80, somewhere between Nebraska and Iowa. I'd been driving for about 14 hours straight. My thermos of coffee had gone cold around hour 8. My eyes felt like sandpaper. You know that feeling when you've been awake too long and the world starts to blur? That was me. The highway was empty. Completely empty. Just me, my 18-wheeler, and the endless ribbon of asphalt. The radio played old country songs from a station that kept fading in and out. I'd memorized every lyric by then. Even the static between songs felt familiar. Anything was better than my own thoughts. That's when I saw her. She was standing on the shoulder of the road, maybe a quarter mile ahead. A woman in a light blue dress, her thumb out, hitchhiker style. Her dark hair was wet, clinging to her face like she'd just stepped out of a shower. That's what struck me first. It was freezing that night, maybe 40 degrees, and she was completely soaked. I should have kept driving. I know that now, but back then, I still had that instinct to help people. My late wife used to say I had a savior complex, always picking up hitchhikers, always thinking I could fix something broken. It had cost me before. Jobs, friendships, trust, but I couldn't help myself. I downshifted, and the air brakes hissed as the truck slowed. She climbed into the truck cabin without hesitation, like she'd been waiting specifically for me. Up close, I could see her teeth chattering. Her dress was plastered to her skin. She was shivering so hard she could barely sit still. "Jesus, you okay?" I asked, reaching for the heat controls. "What happened? Car breakdown?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she turned and looked at me with eyes that held something ancient and sad. And that's when I felt that something in my chest locked up. There was something about her face I recognized. Not that I'd seen her before, but the shape of her face, the way her eyes were set, it was like looking at a ghost of someone I used to know. "I'm really grateful," she said quietly. Her voice was soft, distant. "I've been waiting a long time for someone to stop. Where are you headed?" I asked, trying to ignore the cold crawling up my spine. "Where you're going," she said. "It doesn't matter. Just drive." I pulled back onto the highway. For the next 10 minutes, she said nothing. She just stared out the windshield with an expression that never changed. Water dripped slowly from the hem of her dress onto the floor of the cab. I kept my eyes on the road, but I couldn't shake the feeling that she was watching me. Not in a threatening way. More like she was studying me, waiting for something. "You don't recognize me, do you?" She finally said. My grip tightened on the wheel. "Should I? Maybe not. It's been a long time. Maybe you don't want to. Look, I don't know what this is, but my name is Sarah," she interrupted. "Sarah Turner. Before that, Sarah Jackson. I was married to you for 6 years. We had a daughter. Her name was Emma. She was 4 when we died." The world just tilted. My foot eased off the accelerator. The truck slowed. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. "That's not possible," I whispered. "Isn't it?" she said, and then I realized I could see through her. The highway was visible through her transparent face. "You've been driving this road for 7 years. Jack, do you know how many times you've passed the exact spot where we died?" I knew. God help me, I knew. 43 times. Every single one. I'd counted them all. Each time I passed that little memorial cross, the one I never had the courage to stop and touch. "What do you want from me?" I asked. My voice didn't sound like mine. "I want you to remember," she said. "I want you to stop running, to face what you've done." I didn't do anything. The other driver ran the red light. He was drunk. "You weren't paying attention, Jack. You were on your phone. Emma asked you to watch her dance that morning. You were scrolling through messages instead. You didn't see the truck until it was too late." Every word hit like a hammer. Tears blurred my vision. I didn't even know when I started crying. Because she was right. All of it was true. "It wasn't your fault legally," Sarah said softly. "But you've been punishing yourself for 7 years. 7 years of empty roads and empty nights, thinking if you just keep moving, you won't hurt anyone else. But that's not how it works, Jack. The damage was done long ago." I looked over. She was fading, her form dissolving like smoke. And just before she vanished completely, I heard her whisper, "You haven't seen the worst of it yet." The CB radio crackled to life. "Daddy?" A small voice. Emma's voice. "Daddy, why didn't you watch me dance?" I yanked the wheel hard right. The truck swerved, gravel spraying from under the tires. Her voice kept coming through the static. "Daddy, we've been waiting for you. We're so tired of waiting." I slammed the brakes. The truck shuddered to a stop. Dust swirled in the running lights. The silence afterward was deafening. When I looked in the rearview mirror, she was there, Emma, sitting in the sleeper cabin, soaked, her blonde hair dripping, smiling that sad, knowing smile. "Hi, Daddy," she said. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, just stared. "We don't blame you," she said softly, "but we need you to stop running. We need you to come with us." My hand trembled as I opened the door. The night air rushed in cold, heavy, smelling of diesel and something sweet and wrong. The highway stretched empty in both directions. The stars above seemed impossibly bright, forming patterns I almost understood. Behind me, the sleeper door creaked open. "Come on," Emma called. "We have to go now. They're waiting. They're all waiting." I turned. They were there, Sarah, Emma, and hundreds of others. All the souls lost on this highway over the years. Silent, watching, waiting. Sarah stepped forward, took my hand. "It's time," she said, and I didn't resist. I walked forward into the dark, my wife's hand in mine, my daughter beside me, the dead parting to let us through, as we vanished into the black beyond the highway lights. I woke up at home, the morning light pouring through the window, but on my hands there was mud, fresh mud, like I'd just come from the road. It's strange, thinking back to that night. 3 days after I disappeared, they said a trooper found my rig on the shoulder of Route 80, engine off, lights dead, doors locked from the inside. The news stations covered it for a while. They showed pictures of my truck, the note I left, and the photo of Emma and Sarah. People said it looked like I just stepped out for a moment and never came back. After that, stories started spreading. Truckers, travelers, locals, they all began talking about that stretch of road, Route 80, just outside Walnut Grove. They said if you drive it after midnight, you'll sometimes see a woman in a blue dress standing by the shoulder, trying to hitch a ride. Some folks claimed they stopped for her. They said she climbed in, quiet and polite, her dress still damp, as if she'd just walked out of the rain. But after a few miles, she'd vanish. Just gone. No sound. No trace. Only the passenger seat left warm. like someone had been sitting there just moments before. I saw the reports myself. Local papers, online articles, even police logs. Unidentified female apparitions spotted again along Route 80. They tried to explain it away fog, exhaustion, mass hysteria. But I know better. I've seen her eyes. I've heard her voice. They say some souls never make it off the road. And maybe they're right, because every time I close my eyes, I'm back there again, driving through the dark, headlights cutting through the fog, and there she is, standing by the roadside, her blue dress glowing faintly in the rain, waiting for me to stop.